Hello students, welcome back to our class. So we have already studied the BGAM method of solving linear programming problems in the earlier lecture. So in this lecture we will study some more BGAM method problems, and so let us have a look. Solve the following LPP by BGAM method. Minimize z equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 subject to these two constraints. x1 minus x2 plus 2x3 is equal to 2 and minus x1 plus 2x2 minus x3 is equal to 1. So both the constraints are equality, so we don't need surplus variable, we don't need slack variables, okay, but we need to use artificial variables, okay, in order to get the initial basic feasible solution quite easily, okay. So given problem is of minimization type, okay, so we have to convert it to a maximization type by taking z dash equal to minus z. So thus the objective function is maximize z dash equal to minus x1 minus x2 minus x3, okay. We have to modify our objective function. In order to find an initial basic feasible solution, we introduce artificial variables a1 and a2. So thus we get these equalities as this and this, okay, and then we put x1 equal to x2 equal to x3 equal to 0. So we get a1 equal to 2 and a2 equal to 1 as our initial basic feasible solution. So we assign large negative cost minus m to each artificial variables. Thus the modified objective function is maximize z dash equal to, so here it will be z dash equal to minus x1 minus x2 minus x3 minus ma1 minus ma2, okay. Next we construct the simplex table. So in our earlier lectures I had already explained how to construct simplex table. So if you have missed that, please try to consult the earlier videos, okay. So here our initial basic feasible solution contains a1 and a2. So a1 and a2 are initially inside the basis, okay. Their costs are minus m and minus m, so we have written the costs. Their initial values are 2 and 1, okay, so that also we have written here. And then we have put the entries of the coefficient matrix, okay. And then if you compute zj equal to cbyj, so you'll see you get these values here, right. Say for example for the first one it's minus m into 1, right, minus m into 1 and plus minus m into minus 1, so that's 0, okay, so this is 0. For the second one it's minus m into minus 1 and minus m into 2, so that's minus twice m plus m, so that is minus m, okay. So that way we can compute, and then we calculate what is delta j. So since there are some positive delta j, m is a positive quantity, so there are some positive delta j, so we select the maximum positive. So but here you see there are two maximum, m minus 1 and m minus 1, both are equal, so there is a confusion which one to choose, okay. So in such situation we can choose any one of them. So I choose say x2, you may choose x3 as well, okay. So x2 is our incoming vector. We compute the minimum ratio 2 divided by minus 1, but that will not be considered because minus 1 is negative, so this is not necessary. We will not consider this. We will consider only the positive one, so 1 divided by 2, right. So this corresponding vector a2 is the outgoing vector. So if you observe, we have given one arrow mark here to represent a2 goes out of the basis, okay. So in the next step a1 will remain and x2 will enter and a2 will go out of the basis, okay. So x2 has come in place of a2. And what is the key element? The key element here is 2, so we divide this particular row, that is the second row, by 2. So it's half, minus half, 1, minus half, 0, and the column corresponding to a2 is not considered because artificial variable has already left the basis, so we don't need to consider this particular column, okay. And next we have to make all entries in this particular column 0. So here the entry was minus 1, we are making this entry 0. How to make it 0? R1 changes to R1 plus R2, okay. So this is what we are doing here. R1 changes to R1 plus R2, so it's 2 plus half, that is 5 by 2, 1 minus half, that is 1 by 2, okay, like that. And then again we compute what is zj and what is delta j. So here you see delta 1 is m by 2 minus 3 by 2, delta 3 is 3m by 2 minus 3 by 2. So both are positive, but out of these two the largest one is 3m by 2 minus 3 by 2, okay. So we choose this particular vector, that is the vector x3 as the incoming vector, and we can compute the minimum ratio. So it's 5 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. The other one will not be considered because the entry is negative, okay. So the minimum ratio is this 5/3. So this particular vector a1 leaves the basis. Okay, you can observe I have given one arrow mark here. So a1 will leave the basis. So in place of a1 we will get x3. In place of a2, x2 already remains. So the costs are put here. Okay, and then you have to divide by this key element. So it's 5/3, 1/3, 0, 1. Okay, and then we have to make this particular entry 0. Okay, this minus half we have to make it 0. So how to make it 0? R2 changes to R2 plus half times of R1. Okay, so that way we can make it 0. So ultimately you will see that all delta j are less than or equal to 0, right? So since all delta j less than or equal to 0 and no artificial variables is present in the basis, okay, the basis contains only x2 and x3. There are no artificial variables here. So our solution is optimal, and it is given by x1 equal to 0 because x1 is not there, and the value of x1 is unchanged, and the value of x2 is 4/3. It comes from the table itself. Value of x3 is 5/3. This also comes from the table. So the minimum value of z is 0 plus 4/3 plus 5/3, that is 9/3, which is equal to 3. Okay. Another problem solved by Bingham method: maximize z equal to minus 2x1 plus 2x2 plus 3x3 subject to these two constraints. So here also the constraints are equalities. We will just introduce artificial variables to get the initial basic feasible solution. Okay, so we introduce artificial variables a1 and a2 to get the initial basic feasible solution. So putting x1 equal to x2 equal to x3 equal to 0, we get a1 equal to 2, a2 equal to 1 as our initial basic feasible solution. We assign large negative cost minus m to each of the artificial variables. Okay, hence the modified objective function is this. This is the original part that is given in the problem, and this is the extra part minus m a1 minus m a2. Okay. Next, again we construct the simplex table like the previous problem. So initially we have a1 and a2 inside the basis, and their costs are minus m and minus m. You compute what are those delta j. Then you will see that you get two values here which are positive, three values which are positive, and out of them the largest is 7m minus 3. So we put an arrow mark here. The vector x3 is the incoming vector. So we find out the ratio 2 divided by 3 and another ratio 1 divided by 4, right? So out of this two, the minimum ratio is 1/4. So the vector a2 will leave the basis. Okay, and so the key element here is 4. So we divide this particular row by the key element. So in the next step, a1 remains and x3 enters in place of a2. Okay, and we divide this second row by 4. So you will get 1/4, 3/4, 1/2. Okay, 0 like that. Okay, and then we have to make this particular entry 0. So how to make it 0? R1 changes to R1 minus 3 times of R2. Okay, so this is what we are applying here. So we get these values here, and you compute delta j. You will see that all delta j are less than or equal to 0. Okay, so all delta j less than or equal to 0, but the artificial variable a1 is still present in the basis. Okay, this is present in the basis, and what is its value? Its value is 5/4. Okay, so it is present in the basis at positive level. So the original LPP has no feasible solution. Okay, if the optimality conditions are satisfied, but even then the one of the artificial variables is present in the basis at positive level, then the original LPP has no feasible solution. Okay, so there are some more problems which I give it to you as homework. You please try these problems, and the answers are also given. These are taken from book, and if there is a mismatch in the answers, please let me know. Okay. So these are the problems. Okay, you can try these things. For the last one I don't have the answers, so please try. If there is some problem, please let me know. So we have already come to the end of the second unit. In the next lecture we will start with the third unit, that is duality, and yeah, you will find it quite useful, right? And yeah, the third unit also contains transportation problem, and you will find it very easy. Okay, so it's very easy to solve the transportation problems. So till then, thank you.